Hello and happy gaming, everybody. I know I said I was going to change my intro, but I haven't been able to find a good replacement just yet. So, again, if you have any ideas, feel free to let me know. But we are here today to actually do Yes Bird. We're here to do that. We're here to do Chirp. You got the right idea. No, we're here to perform the theme run for DJ Octavio, who is insofar been the primary antagonist of the Splatoon series. A series which Nintendo is currently in just a little bit of trouble with its fans over. Although more so with the Smash community. And, honestly, I don't blame anyone, and that's a very touchy subject, but I'm going to get into my thoughts on that a little bit later. Right now, let's just go over the run. So DJ Octavio is, as said, the antagonist of Splatoon's story, and tends to get work done at range. He is a ranged fighter who has things at his disposal like giant beams of sound, which is known as the Killer Whale, which I am representing with Aqua Beam. A spray of missiles, which I am representing with Dragon Arc at the moment. Bombs, which I'm representing with Magma Rush, and I'm assuming because of how the Octolings are armed, he's got access to things like splatter shots, which I'm going to represent with Aqua Arc. And because this is all ranged combat, we're going to be using the Gloves of Gambit, mostly because that just makes the most sense, not only for the run, but also for the type of fighting that goes on in Splatoon. So, now that we have all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and get the run started. As per usual, give Jade some gems for some gold, because this woman has more money than sense. Let's see, and if we want to... There we go. We will go ahead and start at the location which is likely going to be the hardest starting location. And the other two locations will actually be easier, if not more annoying, because I hate having to fight Shu on level 3. But I think we've more or less got things settled, so let's just go ahead and have some fun with this. So I had briefly mentioned that Nintendo is in some hot water over some things that happened with the Splatoon community. This is stupid, but I'm going to take this now, and I will just, assume that everything will go according to plan. But basically what happened was, there was a tournament, or a Melee tournament organized, which... Hold on, trying to make sure I don't get hornswoggled by these guys. Which was because of the pandemic, they had to organize the tournament using a special... I'm not sure if it's just a straight-up mod, or if it's... I'm assuming it's just a software modification, and then they actually got it to work using essentially online adapters, but the name of the mod is Slippy, and it allows for Melee tournaments to be, or not tournaments, but allows for Melee to be played online. So imagine that, a GameCube game is essentially being given online support, but strictly by the fans, so this is not anything that's been officially supported by Nintendo. Which, fine, okay, not everything that happens for the life of the game is necessarily supported by the company that made it. One only has to look at the tumultuous history of what's gone on with Warcraft 3 and the creation of Dota and all of that, to understand that sometimes the creator doesn't necessarily have much control over what people do with it after it's out in the open for people to play with. What am I doing? I already did that. So, needless to say, Nintendo did not make Slippy. Or rather, they did, but not that particular sleeve. Oh, perfect. I don't know what Splatoon weapon I can use to justify Bouncing Surge, but I will think about it and come back to this. Maybe the Fizzy Bomb? It's very much like a Fizzy Bomb. You can throw it and it bounces around and, you know, splatters crap everywhere, and in this case, crap equivalent to, you know, electricity. Ow. Alright, clearly mistimed that. So that's my bad. You honestly don't have much that I want. Hey, Limo's Leaf, sure, but I mean, that's not super awesome. It's not super bad either, though, but at the same time, I already justified Bouncing Surge with the Fizzy Bombs in Splatoon 2, so I'm going with it. God damn it. And Killer Whale. Now what I could really use is just a general damage up, which I guess that's what the luxury handbag is, but we'll get there. So because the modification that was made to Melee did not, or was not something that Nintendo themselves made, I guess they felt it was their responsibility to issue a cease and desist, which in just a minute here, I'm going to do just a little bit of devil's advocate and try to understand the decision. But basically, the whole idea behind it was because it was a modification that Nintendo themselves didn't use or approve. So I guess it falls along the purview of this is a modification to the game that, because they didn't approve, is technically violating their IP somehow. Nintendo has always been very protective of their intellectual properties. That's why they've only until recently been actually doing things like putting any of their properties on any sort of smartphone or mobile device, because frankly, Nintendo's got their own. Is that explosive charge, or is it is? I can somewhat go with that. I'm probably going to end up getting rid of it, but I mean, it makes sense considering that characters in Splatoon are very liberal with throwing around bombs. So we could actually say that this is like, what, like a repurposed suction bomb, I guess? But yeah, they've always been very protective of their IPs, almost like to a fault, if you ask me. And that's kind of where I'm coming from on this, is that I don't think that they needed to go as far as they did to protect their IPs. It just doesn't make any sense. We'll take Anchor of Burden. Yes, it is a little bit of a pain to be going slower now, but that's going to essentially make me stronger and free up a little bit of... Well, it's not going to free up anything, but it is going to make it so that I have to be a bit more liberal with my dashing. But I also figure that since this is a ranged build that we're working with here, that'll work just fine. And it goes along well with the idea that I have one other cursed relic, so it'll work just fine. Special Snowflake will also probably help out with the whole, you know, don't get close to me, don't hug me, I'm scared. There we go. So I'm not too worried about the loss of movement speed because the way that this run is going, we've got plenty of ways to make up for the idea that I'm not moving as fast as I was. I don't think there's anything here that's going to work out that well. So we'll say no to that. Let's come back here. We will indeed take the special snowflake. This is like the... Okay, so go with me on this. The special snowflake is like the suction bomb detonating and then just going blah, and everyone gets screwed. And then this is like ink armor. Yeah, roll with it. I know I don't need to justify my relic choices. I'm just saying. Oops. And we'll unleash the killer whale. This is Hunter's Stiletto. Okay, I can see that being useful. I can light people on fire with that, I can shock them with that. Yeah, it makes good sense. Alright! Though, to be fair, because... Well, actually, you know what? If I find the noxious Dapper Cap, that would actually make this run frickin' brilliant. Anyways, I keep going off track with what I was saying. I was, talking about why the Smash community is so up in arms against Nintendo. I guess it doesn't really require much beyond Nintendo has basically issued a cease and desist against the Smash community for their use of the Slippy mod, which again I think is going a little far, but I also did promise that I was going to spend a little bit of time playing Devil's Advocate. Ow, I'm a dumbass. So, something that I have to think about, that is a little too melee, so no thanks. Interestingly enough, since we're talking about Melee. Now, I do think that Nintendo has gone too far with issuing a cease and desist. Oh, and the reason why they're in trouble with the Splatoon community. There's too many things to talk about. God damn it, Nintendo, why'd you have to do stupid things and completely throw me off? But so in one of their recent events that they were hosting for Splatoon 2, there was a hashtag trending as a lot of the top teams were actually registering with the hashtag Free Melee, which of course, like I said, because of the whole cease and desist against that tournament for using the Slippy mod, because how dare you keep people safe during a pandemic, right? Boom. Actually, that's more like an ink mine now that I think about it, but I digress. So because of that, because of a lot of people signing up to the tournament with the Free Melee hashtag, that caused Nintendo to be like, okay, you know what, we've got to shut this down. And that created further backlash. And yeah, Nintendo has made some really stupid mistakes over the last month or so. Now, they are going to reveal the identity of the next DLC fighter for Ultimate during the Game Awards tonight, which I don't know if I would say too little too late. I mean, like I said, I don't necessarily hate Nintendo for what they've done, but I would be lying if I said that I was okay with anything that they've done. I mean, there's really no reason for them to go as far as they did. Go scorched earth with the copyright on your IP because someone loved what you made and decided to and decided to make something for it that makes it easier for people to enjoy, yeah, you're not making a lot of sense, Nintendo. Maybe you need to meet people halfway, stop enforcing draconian ideas on your IP. Just saying, it would probably go a long way. So that is why Nintendo is in hot water right now, and again, I can't necessarily say that I blame anyone for having issues. Oh, I see two things here I want. Ring of Reserves and Cartographer's Quill. Okay, well, we're going to start with the Ring of Reserves because that's going to have a more noticeable effect because I'm working with 3 things that... Look at that, so now I get 3 explosive charges and... both my dragons, or, you know, my ink missiles. Oh, here we go. So this gets an upgrade. And bouncing bubbles is actually a lot more like fizzy bombs than bouncing surge, but hey, you know what? I already took bouncing surge. Plus, I want to see if I can... Yeah, no, there's no way I'm going to be affording either the bubbles or the... Yeah, but I can. Oh no, because I would end up giving up friggin'... Damn it. I didn't paint myself into a corner by any means. I'm just noticing that if I hadn't taken... I'm noticing that if I choose to give Dr. Song an Arcana, it would end up being Bouncing Surge, and I don't want to give that one up. I would be perfectly okay with giving up... I'm sorry, that did how much damage? Good lord, that is completely overdoing it. How does that asshole get to hit for 112? Now, the part where I play devil's advocate for Nintendo's bad decision. And don't get me wrong, my playing devil's advocate does not mean that I'm okay with the decision that they took. It just means that I'm trying to look at it from their point of view because there, as per usual, there's generally 2 sides to a story. So let's look at it this way. Nintendo has put a lot of time and a lot of money into making Smash Bros. Ultimate, well, exactly what it is, Ultimate, and to an extent, I can see where they're coming from. It's every business decision that they put on blast to try to make Ultimate the best it can possibly be. Like all of the partnerships that they've had to curtail in order to get certain characters back into the game. I mean, think about it. Konami basically decided that they don't care about video games anymore, but they got Konami to come out of their shell enough to allow them to use both Solid Snake and Castlevania. Alright, so I guess I should say Metal Gear and Castlevania. Like, that's big. That's no small feat of business acumen there. And they've basically courted Capcom in order to get access to Mega Man and Ryu and Ken, and I'm not 100% sure on this, but I would say that there's a lot of credence to the idea that Dante from Devil May Cry may be coming to Smash. Look at it this way. Oh my goodness, no, you can all lick my taint. Yeah, that's what I thought. Didn't want to give you anything. Am I in that much need of money, and is there something I'd be willing to give up? I missed what I got. Well, one of the things that they said was limiting Dante coming to Smash is that Dante has never really been all that active on Nintendo platforms. Well, shortly after that announcement was made, Suddenly, we've got Devil May Cry on the Nintendo eShop, then Devil May Cry 2 on the Nintendo eShop, and then not just Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition, but an enhanced version of it with an all-new control scheme. Well, not control scheme, but an all-new control mode that lets you switch styles on the fly, a la Devil May Cry 4. And a co-op Bloody Palace, where you can take both Dante and Virgil into the Bloody Palace at the same time. I'm going, what? Okay, yeah, this is definitely Nintendo going, yeah, we want Dante, and we're gonna do what it takes. So, I was both surprised and a little disappointed when they announced Steve from Minecraft. It's like, really, people still care that much about Minecraft? But alright, yeah, it is a widespread gaming phenomenon, and it makes sense to represent it in Smash, even if I don't necessarily agree with the decision, because it's not necessarily my decision to make. But I'm getting way off track here. So, when you think about all of the business relationships they've had to build in order to get all of these fan-favorite characters into Smash, like they got Mega Man, they got Sonic, they got icons of gaming in there. Pac-Man, they've got Solid Snake, they've got all the big names. I mean, not all of them. They don't have Kratos from God of War, but honestly, I'd say that's probably a good thing. But all of this attention and care and effort that they put into making Smash Ultimate literally ultimate, and people are spending so much of their time still talking about Melee. Like, if I were an exec at Nintendo, yeah, I'd be a little pissy about that. If I were Sakurai, I would be simultaneously happy and a little bit pissed off that all of the time that I've spent building up Ultimate, all of the time that I've spent making this the best Smash Brothers it can possibly be, and so much of the community is just dismissing it because it's not Melee. Yeah, I can see where they're coming from. It doesn't mean that they should have gone the route that they did, but I kinda understand. Owie. Okay, that was terrible. Okay, got way too aggressive and got punished hard for it. So, I am probably going to need to focus on getting myself a health potion now. So, that's my devil's advocate explanation for this, is, you know, they really put a lot into making Ultimate as good as it could possibly be. They made as many of the fighters as balanced as they could possibly make them, so that there is no one or two fighters that are completely dominating the field. Like, even for as strong and as popular as Joker is, he's still capable of being beaten. I will openly admit to him being a pain in the ass to fight, but he's not as ubiquitous to the scene as Bayonetta was in Smash 4. No, none of that. Mirror Shield, I think, is worth it. And yes, I know I said I was going to be spending time, I was going to be coming up here to get that health potion. Then I saw Mirror Shield and said, no way. Alright. But yeah, I think in Nintendo's mind, what they were doing is trying to refocus the conversation back onto Ultimate, which, again, I can understand that, but it doesn't mean that you took the right path to doing that. You don't punish players for the things that they like. you try to you let them have it, and that's going to foster goodwill to go into the thing that you really want people to talk about. Fuck that. Why would you give me that? Abysmal garbage. Okay, that room sucked. But yeah, because Nintendo decided to go nuts with protecting their IP, it made a lot of people very upset. And again, even though I kind of get it, I still think they're in the wrong, and they need to back off. There's a lot of people out there that like Melee, and just because I happen to disagree with that decision doesn't mean that those people are wrong. I will grab these. Well, there's the upgrade for explosive charge. I'm not 100% sure I want it, but at the same time, I'm not exactly seeing anything better. Well, I mean, there's a free Arcana you could go back and grab if you wanted to. That shit is staying right the hell where it is. There we go. Looking good. And I would say all of this comes already on top of some confusing decisions from Nintendo, like, why are you only making Super Mario 3D All-Stars available until March? Like, why are you withholding things that people want? Like, I don't understand the meaning behind that. And is that something to blame on Nintendo's president? I don't mean Doug Bowser, I mean Nintendo of Japan's president. Or is it something, or is it because of Bowser? I know we shouldn't have let Bowser have that much power. I mean, Bowser having that much power within Nintendo is kind of akin to letting a Palpatine take the name Skywalker. Owie. Oh, that was stupid. Fortunately, that was a short battle room and not a long battle room. I see you there, Glass Cannon. Problem is, I don't think Octavio is necessarily a glass cannon, but you know. Then again, he does float around in a very Eggman-like device, which he's constantly blasting dubstep with. So, I mean, I guess the golden armor of envy makes sense. Especially since it's very clear that Octavio has the money for crazy little doodads and inventions. You know, like the weird toast machine. If you don't know what I mean when I say the crazy toast machine, I believe it's the World 2 boss of Splatoon 1. I might be remembering that incorrectly, but I seem to recall there was a crazy toast boss. Which now takes me back to memories of Ren and Stimpy and Powdered Toast Man. Oh, Ren and Stimpy. You were perfect for all of us kids who were looking for something a little way out of the ordinary. But yeah, that's what I know about the situation going on with Nintendo. I was going to make a separate video about it. You know, one of my just discussion videos. 3 photos of the same guy? God, shoot! What are you trying to tell us? I do like me some Raging Inferno, though, not gonna lie. I might come back for that, but I'm unsure about that at the moment. And is there anything here I like? I like Curse Eater's mask, that's for sure. There we go. Raccoon mask, because that totally makes sense for DJ Octavio. Also, why are you not... Why can't I have the Bouncing Surge upgrade? That's why I'm keeping the cookie, damn it. There we go. Sinister Ledger? I don't even care about that. So now the question is, do I want... whatever the hell it's called. Do I want whatever the hell it's called? Raging Inferno. I'm actually going to say no. No, I'm not going to take Raging Inferno. I think I am, on the other hand, going to grab the Golden Armor of Envy. Not the least of which because it's going to boost Armor Burden a little bit more. And I suppose we don't need that anymore. Did I just say Armor of Burden, by the way? I'm the smartest boy that's ever lived. Oh, I'm stupid. Well, maybe not stupid, maybe I'm just... Nice. 360 no scope, bitch. Make no mistake. I might be a little upset with Nintendo right now because, you know, it made another strange, stupid decision. Like, I wish I could find a way to help them understand that the people making things like that for their games, you know, just mods and things like that in general, aren't being done because they're trying to take away from their bottom line. People do things like that because they love what you've created. It is not a means by which to take anything away from you. Oh, who was it that I was talking to recently? I was like, I don't like explosive charge, and it's like, you know, I can understand not liking explosive charge, but I don't know. Give it a chance. It's kind of better than you're giving it credit for, my man. All right. You knew I was doing that, didn't you? You had to have known that I was going to do that. I think Darkseid really likes fairies way too much. I disagree. I don't think there is such a thing as liking fairies too much. Remember, fairies are magical. And if you have one in a bottle, even though I think that's rather... Ow. Even though I think that's rather cruel to do to a fairy, they'll revive you. It's good to have fairy companions. I keep telling you. Even though you can't be poisoned. I'm sorry, this is just a personal choice. This was not a choice made because I thought it was smart. This is a choice made because I like fairies. Ow. Owie. Owie. Hey, you guys need to let me know when I'm being overly aggressive, because that seems to be where I get into the most trouble. And I was just fighting Bloodbath Diablos with a friend of mine the other day. It was just me and my buddy up against Bloodbath EX, and I kept dying because I was being way too aggressive and didn't learn my lesson until I scaled it back and said, hey, how about I only take shots that are safe? Or at least safer than the ones that I was taking. So, I mean, you guys are going to need to remind me that, hey, you can slow down a little bit. It's okay. It is absolutely okay. Alright, there you go. That's DJ Octavio. And thusly, the end of that week's theme runs, which I got to a little bit late because Tuesday was a very busy day. And Wednesday was even more so. So again, I apologize. And I would have gotten to it after work on Monday, but I needed to catch up on some sleep, so I apologize. But thank you guys very much for watching. I appreciate your love and support. Continue supporting me by doing the like, comment, subscribe YouTube dance. Let me know what you think about certain things. Feel free to follow me on my social media, which will always be linked in the description below. And I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. More stuff? Did I really just say that? Alright, good job me. What's the capital of Minnesota? Bob. Anyway, that's enough for me. I'm gonna get going because I've got other episodes to record. But you guys take care, and I will be seeing you very soon. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and bye bye.